Hi there. In this video, we're going to dive into all the different ways that you can use chat history inside of SiteGPT. For those of you that are unaware, it's very simple and easy to get into your SiteGPT chat history. All you need to do is go to any of the bots that you have created. And then on the bottom left here, you'll notice that there's a window called Chat History. Now, Chat History is a very simple and easy to use section. However, it is so effective in helping you implement your chatbot without the worry that all the questions that are asked by your various users are going to go to waste. So Chat History is such a great way for you to notice all the different ways that people are asking questions inside of your systems in order for you to reflect on those different things, add additional information to your chatbot if needed, answer questions if they've been escalated to humans, and in any case, you can interact with all the different conversations that you've had with users in a very easy to use interface. Let's dive right in. So you'll notice very quickly that over here, what we have is all the different questions that people have asked of me on my website, riseproductive.com. If I click on this, you'll see that right here, it shows how many weeks ago this occurred, the user, when the message was sent, and then what response occurred from the bot. You'll now notice that at the top, obviously anonymous is who was the person that sent it. If they do fill out their information, this will show who it actually is. And then a great example of this is that I actually did a example for myself a few weeks ago, and you'll see that Dimitri Panici is filled out. So that would be if I were to go here on my chatbot and I was somebody who added my details and submitted my information, I then would be able to see that in the chat history from the internal side. Now, when it comes to this, once you are inside of interacting with anything chat history wise, what you can do is you can mark this as important, and you'll notice it adds a star here and is now available in the important section in your chat history. It also allows you to mark this as resolved to say you're done with this and don't need to take a look at it for any reason. You can press resolved. And then you also can export the chat history. So this is going to export it into a CSV. If I were to open this, the data that comes out from here is the ID of the chat, the thread, what questions were asked, answers and response, and some other metadata. Also, if you notice on the three dots, you have the ability to mark this as unread, which you'll notice this changes it so that this little bubble pops up again based on how many chats were there. You'll see that this one, when there's an interaction with this bot, if I press mark as unread, it's going to change it to 5 unread because the chat thread was 5 questions with this person. You'll notice that my bot interacted with them and answered multiple questions, and I can see what they asked, what my response was, and even the sources that were given, as well as when this took place for each individual chat. Now, I can also press copy link after pressing the 3 dots, and this will send me to just go back to this specific chat. If, for example, I need to get back to doing it, I can put it into a task manager, copy that link, and then later when I want to go back to it, I can just click on the link from my task manager and go back. Now, I also can click open as a user. Opening as a user here will allow me to see it from a full screen perspective where I could interact with this bot and, just as it says, talk with it as a user. And then if I click the back arrow, you'll notice that it just goes back to this section because this was opened in a new tab. That's what this little indicator always means. Now, in any sense, if you don't want to have this conversation showcase anymore because you just want to get rid of it, you can press delete conversation and you will be prompted with a permanent request, and then you can press OK. And after pressing OK on the confirmation, it will go away. Now, a couple things to notice here is that if you do see one of these exclamation points, that just means that it is escalated to a human. So we've escalated to a human, right? And that means that from there, it'll showcase in an outline that's pretty stark to indicate that this has been elevated to a human status. And then as showcased with the filtering previously, while I'm in the all conversation section, if I press escalated rather than being in all, I can then see all the different ones that have been interacted with. And I think this is important because it allows us to know that while looking at all of them is good for context of what people are asking, the escalated ones are the ones that you probably really need to interact with because those are the ones that you're essentially giving customer support to. For any of the different chats, what you can do is press view details, and that will showcase the total messages, positive and negative feedback, the ID, the date it started on, and whether it was escalated or not. Once again, this would have contact details. So as you can see right here, if I press view details, it would have my name and email right in there. You can filter through in a myriad of other ways though. So for example, you can put it as not anonymous. That would showcase people's names that interacted with your chatbot. Obviously I'm blurring these out for security purposes, but that is a great way for you to internally see people who actually put their information in. You can have one that's filtered based off what ones you've read, ones that were positive. So for example, somebody asked how to contact my team, and I gave it a positive feedback after saying you can contact us at hello@riseprojector.com. And the same goes for this one. There was positive feedback given, and I can see that here. The same goes for negative feedback, which luckily I don't have any. And then ones that have been created with GPT-4, and my favorite, which is unread. So unread is a great view for those of you that are looking for a spot where it's like, all right, I just want to see what I'm not aware of yet. That's what this can be used for. And essentially the rest of these are just the inverse of what you see at the top here. So escalated versus not escalated, important versus not important, not anonymous versus anonymous, and then instead of ChatGPT 4, 3.5. Now you also can press here to refresh all of your conversations, and you can export the entirety of the chat history by pressing this export chat history button. Then from there, when you open it as a CSV, you can see all of it in this format. So you can see all of it in a much different way than the chat history bot, but this is essentially the back-end information behind what you get with the chat history. I love chat history because it really allows me to see everything that's happened in regards to all the questions people have had regarding my app. It is awesome to see how so many people's questions are getting answered. And if I need to answer any of the other ones that are escalated to me, I can do so. You gotta love SiteGPT and the way that it can elevate your website to reduce the time it takes for you to answer all the questions that your customers have. If you like this video, make sure to go to our YouTube channel and check out all the other great content that we have on how to improve your skills using SiteGPT even more.